Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I posted a video, but I'm here and I'm back with the Get Ready With Me. While I'm getting ready, I will be talking about my pregnancy experience. So I'm going to break down the whole thing from when I found out until basically I went into labor. So let's get started. I did actually film this video already last week when I was getting ready for church, but it was so freaking long. I wasn't even like halfway through editing, and like I was so like happy about the video, like it was coming out so good, and I looked at the time and it's already like almost at 40 minutes, and so I was like, okay, like absolutely not. Like, so first thing I'm going to talk about is how I found out I was pregnant. Pretty much, long story short, I don't want to go into detail because I somehow want to get like Jackson's like perspective. Long story short, my period was late. My period was late, so it kind of just made me want to take a test on the 5th day of not getting my period because I have never had irregular periods. It's never been something, I know some girls like that's completely normal, but for me it was not. So I was like, whatever, like I'm gonna just take it so like I could kind of just get some like closure on what's going on. Jackson thought I was pregnant the whole time, but I didn't. I also took the test without him being at home. Because something like we did say was when I do get pregnant, he does want to like be surprised about it. So that's what I did. I went and got him like a little box, like the, you know, the traditional little thing with like the baby stuff in it. I did that with it was like baby socks, and then this one thing, I honestly don't know what it's called. I don't even know if Clea has any. I think she, well, other than the one like I put in the box. We never even took it out because like we wanted to keep it in there, but I don't know what it's even called. I'll put a picture of like what the thing looked like. But yeah, I got him that and like a card, and then he was cutting hair. He was cutting his brother's hair that day, and once he was done, we ate and stuff, and then I told him I had something for him, get him the box, and yeah, so that's basically how he found out, how I found out, and we were super happy. Obviously just like a crazy amount of emotion. Anywho, but yeah, we were overall like really happy. We knew we wanted to be young parents. That was always something we wanted to do, and we're not the same age either, so regardless, like knowing I was dating someone a little bit older, I knew I was probably gonna have to like find like a middle ground, because I wanted to make sure like he's having babies at an age like he wants to, and if I'm ready at that time, like let's just do it. So yeah, we had babies. I was 21 and he was 24. All right, so moving on to why we decided to have a private pregnancy. I know some people, I feel like it's not like super uncommon to see this, or sometimes like people like won't even post like their baby's faces because they just want to like keep it away from like social media and everything. We did that with our pregnancy. We did not tell people literally up until like the end of the pregnancy. We did not tell anyone other than like our immediate family, just because like we just didn't care to really hear what people had to say. You know, it could be people super close to you and they'll still have an opinion, and we just didn't want to experience that. We just wanted to have a good first pregnancy and enjoy like everything that we could. So that is why we decided to do private pregnancy. I did have a baby shower, and even then it was super intimate. Like we both just chose to not invite like a ton of people. We both have huge families, but for one, like we didn't have the space, and 2, we just wanted it to be people like that we do talk to a lot, like we know like we for sure want them there, not just like, you know, like outside family or friends from like the past type of thing, just because like it's something that we really kept intimate for ourselves, so we want to do the same with the people we invited. So yeah, even when we were sending like the invitations, like people were like, I didn't even know you were pregnant, this and that. I was like, yeah. And then we didn't post that we had a baby until we were already home from the hospital, because I didn't really care to deal with anyone who like wanted to like try to come and see my baby. Like, no, thank you. We only kept it our immediate family, like our parents and then Jackson's siblings, to come to the hospital. But anyway, so that's that. Moving on, I'm not trying to rush it, but I just don't want to keep blabbering, because that's exactly why the last time I filmed this, it was almost an hour. It was probably going to be like an hour long, honestly, by the time I finished editing the whole thing. So I just want to hit the main points, and yeah. So next is getting into the trimesters. So my first trimester, let me make sure like I hit everything. So first trimester, I would say I started getting like the symptoms that I'm gonna be talking about probably like 2 weeks after I found out I was pregnant. So basically, when I tell you that I was sick, you guys. Like, I was throwing up minimum like 3 times a day. I would wake up in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know why they call it morning sickness. That's why I'm not saying morning sickness when I'm like talking about it, because it is not no morning sickness. Like, yeah, you get sick in the morning and like in the middle of the night, but that thing happens in the daytime too. Like, it's not just morning, it's at any time of the day. But like, there was literally nothing I could do. I would eat, I would throw it up. I wouldn't eat, I would still throw up. So like, it was like you kind of had to like deal with it until you stopped getting nauseous. And honestly, when I first found out I was pregnant, like, something just told me I was gonna have a girl. I just had that feeling in my gut that that's what was gonna happen, which was weird because I never pictured myself having a girl, at least like not for my first child. But like, the moment I found out, I just was like, this is gonna be a girl. Like, I see myself having a girl. And then also like with these symptoms, I mean, honestly, I know, like, I've heard some people who have had boys and they still get nauseous, but I don't know, it was just weird. But a lot of people thought I was having a boy, so I don't know, just nothing convinced me that it was a boy at first. But yeah, so that kind of like made me feel like I knew the gender, even though honestly it could be different for everyone. Some people have girls and they don't have any nausea. Some girls have boys and they have nausea. It just depends on how it's going for you. But yeah, I was really sick all the time, and then I also had like no appetite. There would be some times where I would get random like spurts of wanting to eat, or if like the baby was hungry, like I needed to get food in my system like at that very moment, or else she was gonna make me get friggin' sick, which she did all the time. Or there was times where like I would be hungry and I would ask like Jackson to go get me food or make me food, and then once like it's there, I don't want to eat it anymore, so I would waste it. And that's just kind of the way it went. It's honestly like there's nothing you could do. And I mean, there's times where I felt bad, but luckily like Jackson always made me feel super like comfortable, and he never made me like feel bad for anything. Like, he always was super positive and very supportive about the whole thing. So I was very fortunate to have a partner like that during the pregnancy. Don't even get me started on how Jackson treated me during the pregnancy. You guys, he was like, that's what made me know like I'm marrying him. Like, he treated me like freaking royalty. Like, every single day I was getting massages. He was literally rubbing my belly when I like my belly was still flat, and it was so reassuring to be like, I chose the right person to do this with, because you hear like these crazy like stories on some girls, like, oh, like you don't really know like how he's truly gonna treat you until you're pregnant, blah blah blah. And so I was like, oh my god, like, I mean, I just never could see him treating me bad, but being pregnant with his baby like sealed the deal for me. There was never a time he complained about anything. He always took really, really, really good care of me. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and so the other thing that would make me sick, like, for sure, was different smells. Even when I would be like at work, the smell of coffee made me super nauseous. I would throw up all the time at work. I was just super sensitive to them. And I also was super tired. That's all I wanted to do was take a nap. And it could be after like the smallest task. I had to rest. Like, there was like, my body wouldn't even let me try to stay up. But yeah, and then also something with the sickness, when, I guess this is really normal during pregnancy, but I just never heard of it, was when you throw up like a lot like that, something that's called like straining from like making like the movement or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. But with straining, you get like this rash, and I did not know about this until it started happening to me. After like my first week of throwing up, I started realizing I was getting like this weird rash on my face, and I looked it up and it said like it was completely normal. I have some pictures, so I'll probably put that in. But yeah, so it was on like my eyelids, like under my eyebrows, and like kind of like a little bit on my cheek area, and then a lot on my neck, like really, really bad on my neck. And this would happen every time I would get sick, even when I got sick during labor, because I did throw up during like my delivery. I got the rash again, but I'm gonna save my actual like delivery story for a different video. But like talking about the rash thing, yeah, that thing, that always would occur. So yeah, that could possibly happen if you do get sick a lot. Moving on to second trimester. So I don't know. I think I said in the Get Ready With Me how like I used to always watch a lot of like different like videos and TikToks on girls' experiences, because I just wanted to kind of like acknowledge like gain different like experiences or knowledge. How do I word that? I don't know. I just wanted to know as much as I could for like the possibilities of what could happen during the pregnancy. So I would watch a lot of different videos. I would listen to girls' experiences with delivering and like being pregnant. But they would always be like, oh, like your second trimester is always like the best trimester because you're not as sick typically. Which honestly, like, some girls might still be sick, but majority of the time I think it's pretty common for you to stop. It's just like not okay. For you not to be as sick anymore. And that was my case, thank God. I think I threw up during my second trimester maybe twice, which honestly was very good because like that was like less than what I was normally doing on a single day. So second trimester was really enjoyable. Your bump starts showing, so it's really fun to experience that. I had like a love-hate at first because I was super slim, I was fit, I looked good, and then I was getting this belly and I was like, girl, all my hard work. But honestly, speaking of that, I did try working out because I feel like I be seeing different like gym rats going to the gym while they're still pregnant. But I tried, and you guys, I did not enjoy it one freaking bit. Like, when I tell you, like, I hated going to the gym while I was pregnant. Like, I absolutely hated it. And I really wanted to enjoy it and continue going because I was on like this really good streak, and everyone would say like, oh, like when you had the baby, like you're not gonna have that much time anymore. And it kind of scared me, and I was like, oh my god, like what if I can't go for a really long time? And plus, like the 6 weeks postpartum, like you typically can't even work out like that unless like you don't tear anything like that. And I just was trying to think of like all the possibilities, and so I was like, damn, like if I don't go now, like when am I gonna be able to go? Like it's gonna be a really long time. So I was just really scared, but like I didn't want to force myself to do it if I wasn't going to enjoy that. Like I don't want to look back and be like, dang, like I was over here making myself go to the gym. I was leaving super unhappy. Like that's the whole point of going to work out, is to feel better about yourself, and I just didn't. And I already knew like I am capable of losing weight. I've done it before, and I was like, you know what, like I'll be able to do it again. Like I'm not going to stress out about that. The whole point of pregnancy is to make sure like your baby's good. And also my baby was very small during my pregnancy, literally the whole time until like March, and I was due in April. So until March she was like actually at a decent weight, and like she was still a little bit below the percentile like of normal babies at that point, but she gained weight. So I'm like, whatever, like I'm just gonna focus on that and making sure like I'm happy and I could just enjoy the life of being pregnant. And then also I was able to eat a lot more. This was when like I was eating crazy, you guys. Like I would crave the most randomest things. I didn't have like those weird cravings where like they be eating like weird combinations of stuff. I never had that, I don't think. From what I remember, I don't remember that, but it was just like specific things that I wanted. Moving on to third trimester. This is probably like the one I have like the most stuff to talk about. So third trimester, I could like equal it to how I felt first trimester, simply because I mean this time you're not, well, I wasn't like throwing up and all of that fun stuff. Like I was still eating and all of that. The one thing that did, okay, so the two things that I had from beginning to end was being tired all the time and also peeing all the time. Also because you're getting a lot bigger. I could not breathe, you guys. Like especially sleeping, like sleeping towards the end of your pregnancy is so uncomfortable. Like there's nothing you could do. I had a pregnancy pillow, and don't get me wrong, I love that thing. I would say like the pregnancy pillow does help. You don't always have to get like the huge one. You don't have to get a super expensive one. But I would recommend getting any type. But yeah, so I couldn't breathe. I was wobbling literally everywhere I would walk. Like I literally look like a freaking duck, you guys. So yeah, that's just something like you do have to get used to, and always just like remember that it is something temporary and one day you're gonna miss it. Which I did miss it. The second she came out, I was so happy that she was here with us, but I did miss having her in me, because like nothing could be that feeling. Oh, I didn't even talk about when babies kick. The first time I felt her kick, I believe, was in my second trimester, and it's the best feeling ever, you guys. Like if I could explain it, it would be like, it almost feels like butterflies in your stomach when they're moving. Like at first it's kind of like, it's a little like scary at first because it's a feeling that you're obviously not used to. That's the thing with pregnancy, is stuff like you're not used to. You have to just kind of gain acceptance and know like it's your baby, so that brings comfort to it, even though it is something new. But after like a while, you'll feel it and it's just normal. and there's times like I would know when she's like up. Anyways, sorry, I completely forgot to talk about that. Going back to third trimester, so I covered that. Oh, so with getting my stomach bigger, we were pretty good with like putting the lotion and the oils and all of that. But also at the same time, like no matter what you do, you might just get them because like genetics, and I already knew that was a possibility with me because I've had stretch marks for I think since like elementary school. I always had them like on my thigh area or like hip thigh-ish area. So I already kind of had a feeling I was gonna get them despite of us trying to like be on top of it, which honestly like I don't mind them. I feel like when I look at them now, I'll probably show you guys eventually when I'm not as freaking big, but I think I don't mind it because like it's like a sign that I had babies. Obviously some people have stretch marks on their stomach even without having babies, but for me in my case it is because I was pregnant and I don't mind it. I think it's just something that is like a visible, obviously other than her, it's visible that I had a baby. So I personally don't mind it. I know there's a lot of girls who are like scared for that and they don't want to mess up their stomach, but I don't know. I always had stretch marks, so it wasn't like that huge of a deal, in my opinion, but just know like it's possible to get them. And I mean there's like different there's different things you could use to like try to get rid of them even if you do get them. Like I know there's this one oil, I actually have it, it's the bio oil. I got this one from Target. I actually got it a while back. It wasn't even for stretch marks at first, but I did get it for, I don't remember what the reason was, but I know I didn't get it for skincare or for what is it called? Oh my god, I'm everywhere. I didn't get it for the stretch marks. I had it way before I even got pregnant, but then I found out people were using it and then I was like, okay, cool. Like, because even now, like I don't really put anything on them and they're already like lightening, so I don't really care. But that's that. And we did have a maternity shoot. We didn't do it professionally, but honestly, oof, I loved how they turned out. My best friend and her boyfriend helped us do it at home, and and honestly they turned out great. Like I love them. I'm glad they turned out good. Like for us to do it at home and like we're not even like photographers like that, I feel like they turned out great. I'll put some up, but I do have a lot on my Instagram. But yeah, we just didn't want, we were just going through a lot. We were trying to move to my mom's at the same time, and also like the baby shower was like the following week, so we just didn't want to like spend a crazy amount of money on something like we could do ourselves and still be happy with it. So yeah, we decided to do that. We did do a 4D ultrasound, which 4D, 3D, I think it's 4D. I don't know. No, I think it's 3D. You know what I'm talking about. But we did that. Shout out to my mom because she like really pushed me to go do it. She really wanted us to all experience it, because when you go to these places, I don't know if it's like all of them, but the company that I went through, they allow you to bring like up to 8 people. Like at certain locations it's 8 and then other locations it's 10. And luckily like the amount of people that were able to go was 8, so it worked out perfectly. So we got to see her eating, we got to see her blinking, like it was so crazy. I did not know it was gonna be like that, and it was nice because our whole family was with us. Moving on to my maternity leave and like nesting. So I originally planned on not leaving work until like a week before I was due, but due to me working at Starbucks, and like being a shift and all that good stuff, my OB wanted me to take off 4 weeks before my due date, because I did have to do a lot. I was on my feet the whole time. So she was just like, I think it's better for you to just take the time off so you can nest and relax and all of that before the baby comes. So I did take off 4 weeks before. And honestly, I'm really glad I did, because there was just so much going on with moving and the baby shower. And I just wanted to make sure everything was good by the time she got there, because I was already at the point, I was already at 36 weeks, so anything could happen at that time. Like, she could come at that point, like, you just never know. So I wanted to make sure I was prepared. So within, I think it was like a week after I went on my leave, that was when we were moving. So it gave me time to just make sure everything was like packed and clean at the place we were leaving. So by the time I got to my mom's, we got all our stuff situated, like in our room, within, we did it before my due date, so it was like within 3 weeks, which I was stressing about. I remember like looking at the room, and obviously there was a ton of stuff. We had the stuff that was in my room prior to us moving in that I had from when I was in there. And we had to go through all of that, get our stuff in, get the baby stuff like clean and all of that good stuff. Because when you're prepping for a baby, you gotta make sure everything is completely clean. So, why does it look like that? It's fine. So I was like trying to do all of that. So I was just stressing out. Like, I remember looking at it and like telling Jackson, like, how are we supposed to get this done? But he always was like, don't stress about it, like, we'll be fine. And we had everything done by my due date. My due date was April 18th. But there were just no signs like she was really coming. My stomach didn't drop. I wasn't really getting contractions. So I had my appointment with my OB on the 20th, and she basically told me if I don't have the baby within like the weekend, because I think the appointment was like on a Thursday, she said that I would have to get induced. And yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I do want to have like a labor video, and I don't know if I'm gonna do like that as my next video, or if it's just gonna be like in the future, like in a couple of weeks. But this is the hairstyle I did when we went to San Francisco. So basically, I don't know why I wasn't gonna show you how I did it, but I just did it's a little crooked, but it's fine. I did, first you like slit in the front, and then you just make cubes, and they're squares, I don't know why I said cubes. And then I just split it under where I did the parts, just like so. I'm trying like not to brush it out too much because I don't want it to look like a bush. It's that big of a deal if it's not like completely smooth, because like it's already kind of messy, so it looks cute. That's my hair. And then I'm gonna just put some products in it. I do use this. This is the gel that was trending on TikTok. I do like it a lot, honestly, because it doesn't really make your hair like hard. So I just put this in. I did have my braids in for 2 days, or like about 2 days, so they should hold fine, but I'm gonna be outside majority of today, so I don't want it to get flat or anything like that. Oh my god, dude. You guys, she started screaming the other day, so now when she gets mad, she like legitimately screams, and I honestly get a little scared. I'm like, Whose baby is that? So I'm wearing these cargo shorts from Forever 21. They're super cute. And then I'm just gonna wear these black sandals. I hope you guys liked my get ready with me. I did obviously my pregnancy experience, so I hope it was informative for someone who maybe is pregnant right now or wants to get pregnant or just wants to know the possibilities of when it's their time. But yeah, so I will be making more videos. I'm gonna be back on my normal routine on making sure I get a video out. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a good day or good night, and I'll see you guys next video.